Let's talk all things business, speech, and motivation, politics, community, health, education, finance, and more.
Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk, all things business, speech, and motivation. And I am your host, Miss June. And I just love to bring you good information and, of course, things that are going to help make you a better person and also grow your family, your business, as well as any other thing that pertains to your personal being and your personal space. Well, today I have something very special. This will be part one of a three-part series of information that will change your life. Now, I'm not sure if you have heard of Napoleon Hill. Well, Napoleon Hill, he is a very important individual to our society. Napoleon Hill in 1908, he went and interviewed a gentleman by the name of Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie was a billionaire, and he and his family were the steel magnates in the steel industry. Well, when Napoleon Hill he was an attorney, and at one point he decided that he wanted to do something different with his life. So he wrote 30 letters, 30 letters. It was either 30 or 50 letters to Andrew Carnegie, trying to get an interview with him because he wanted to know, hey man, what's making you so successful? Maybe you can mentor me. Well, the letters kept, meeting no response. Well, eventually, Napoleon Hill did receive a meeting with Mr. Andrew Carnegie, and that meeting changed his life. Well, Mr. Carnegie gave Napoleon Hill an extreme challenge. He challenged him to go out into the world over a 20-year period and speak to and interview some of the wealthiest individuals. And at that time, there were about 500 individuals that were considered the most wealthy. And some of those names are the Rockefeller family, Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and Alexander Graham Bell. So what Napoleon Hill was tasked to do, he was tasked to go find out what is it that was making these people successful. Is it a formula? How are they having all of this magnificent, extremely huge achievement? Well, Mr. Carnegie told him, however, I will not give you a dime to finance this endeavor. However, he did provide to him letters of introductions, and he opened the doors for Napoleon Hill to go meet and speak with these people. And Mr. Carnegie's philosophy was that Napoleon Hill would gain more from wisdom and his experiences, and he would be able to put the parts together to get the wealth. And the money, according to Mr. Carnegie, it would come based upon the things that Napoleon Hill would learn. Now, Napoleon Hill wrote a book in 1937, and that book is called Think and Grow Rich. And then later, he expanded that book, which had 13 principles. He expanded that into what he calls his Mastermind Principles, and these are the principles of personal achievement and success. Now, Think and Grow Rich continues to be one of the top 10 best-selling self-help motivational books of our time. Now, on the back end, some people say that, well, did Napoleon Hill really meet Mr. Carnegie? Did Napoleon Hill really do all of these interviews? Or did Mr. Napoleon Hill have a creative mind and put all of these things together and then put it in a book? A lot of the legends say that that's how Napoleon Hill became so wealthy. Well, either way, I'm going to share with you in a three-part series Napoleon Hill's Mastermind Principles. Now, these are 17 mastermind principles that will help you get your personal achievement in your life, whether it's health, wealth, abundance, prosperity, or even a particular lifestyle. Throughout this three-part series, I will give you the principles and also tell you what to do Everything will be based directly from Napoleon Hill's Mastermind Principles. Well, the first thing is you have to think about what is it that you want the most in your entire life. This will start you with the first principle. The first principle is called definiteness of purpose. This is when you have to decide what is it that you want most in the world? What is it that you want most in life? What do you want to be known for? What is that legacy you want to leave? What is it that you want the most in life? Well, the first thing you have to do is you have to write a clear statement. And what that statement should be is something that you take a pen and you write down what your innermost desire is in life. What is it that you want to be? What is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to have? And this statement has to be very, very clear. What do you want the most in life? Now, this statement is two parts. The first part is the major desire. What do you want to be? Do you want to be a multimillionaire? Do you want to be an entrepreneur? Do you want to be a successful engineer, a published author? Do you want to be an expert in your field? Do you want good credit? Do you want several bank accounts? Do you want homes? Do you want to travel? Write it down. And the second part is to whom much is given, much is expected. So therefore, you also have to include in your statement, what are you going to do in exchange for getting the major desire? How are you going to give back? And how are you going to help others? And so basically, this is where you are expressing to the universe, my major desire in life is to do ABC. I want to be ABC, then you'll detail it out. And then you will also think about that second statement of giving things back. Now, when you're doing your definiteness of purpose, there's a responsibility that's going to go along with all of this. You are going to be required to express gratitude twice a day. And part of that expressing gratitude will be for getting control of your mind, also for things before you get them, and also expressing gratitude for a positive mental attitude. You will do that twice a day, and we will go back to that. But as part of your definiteness of purpose, this is principle number 1. We've already discussed writing your statement of what it is that you want. Now let's look at the second part. You have to write what's called a clear statement of giving. The clear statement of giving is where you will say, in return, I plan to give. So this is your statement of giving that, again, you have to be clear on, that you're going to detail and write out. You've already made the definiteness of purpose statement about what it is that you want, part 1. Part 2, the clear statement of giving, which basically says, if I am blessed to receive the things that I ask, this is how I will give back. So we're still on principle number 1. Now, with your clear statement of giving, I will let you know that you have to really, really be detailed and mean it and have it come from your heart, and make sure that it's something that you're going to actually do and something that you can do. Now, how do these statements work? Your definiteness of purpose and your clear statement of giving. You have to memorize both statements, and you have to repeat those statements 12 times every single day, because it almost becomes a personal prayer. Okay, so your clear statement of giving, memorize it. Then your definiteness of purpose, you also want to memorize it. Now, here's something that I'm going to give to you that you also have to memorize and repeat at the end of each one of your statements. What we are working on is using the mind to achieve your dreams, your goals, and your desires. Because with Napoleon Hill, what the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. Again, what the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. You want to write that statement down, place it on your mirror, and have it somewhere close so that you can see it on a regular basis. So next, I will give you the prayer that you will say at the end of each of your statements. So let's go to a quick break. We'll return and we will finish up with Principle 1 and then move to Principle 2 as I begin to give you the 17 Mastermind Principles of Napoleon Hill. Return, I will give you the 17 Mastermind Principles of Napoleon Hill, and when we return, we will go on to Principle number 2 and begin to work on the prayer that goes at the end of each statement. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it. My support team never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew who I could become as a person. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes, and you come to mine. This is it. First impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Mastermind Principles of Napoleon Hill as I begin to give you the 17. You're inside Let's Talk, all things business, speech, and motivation. And I'm your host, Miss June. And this presentation is a very special one because it will make a change in your life. As a matter of fact, it will make a major difference in your life. I will be presenting to you the 17 Mastermind Principles of Napoleon Hill. And we've just started with principle number 1, which deals with definiteness of purpose. And within that definiteness of purpose, just to review, you will make a clear statement of giving, which is how you're going to give things back or what you're going to do. And you're also going to write a statement on what it is that you most desire. Now, here is a statement which eventually will become a prayer because we are dealing with our mind, and we know that what we think about is what manifests. So here's what you're going to say, word per word, at the end of each one of your statements, your giving statement and your statement of purpose. Here we go. I ask not for divine providence for more riches, but more wisdom, well which to accept and use wisely the riches I received at birth in the form of the power of my mind, to control and direct to whatever ends I desire. You will say this at the end of your statement of giving, and you will say this at the end of your statement that you're going to write with your definiteness of purpose. So basically, this phrase is asking for more strength in your mind and more power to control that mind so that you can will more things into existence and maintain that power. So now let's look at principle number 2. With our principle number 2, this is going to help you learn how to borrow and use the experience, education, and money of others to attain success, also to help you with your efforts and will help you attain rather quickly. Now, I will tell you, if you follow all of these principles that I will present, you will be able to attain more success and move further in life within a year. So before I tell you the next principle, I want to tell you 3 more things to do. I want you to think about, where do you want to be, or what do you want to be doing in the next 3 years? The next thing I want you to do is think about how much money you want to make per year. Those are the 2 things. So I was going to tell you 3 things to do. Again, decide where you want to be and what you want to be doing in the next 3 years. Also, think about how much money you want to make per year. So the third thing is actually your second mastermind principle. That second mastermind principle is building a mastermind alliance. Now, with building your mastermind alliance, that deals with people. And according to Napoleon Hill, his mastermind principles, building the mastermind alliance is when you have 2 or more minds working together in perfect harmony for the attainment of a common objective. For example, this is the coordination of knowledge. And with the mastermind alliance, this can be a mentor, someone you admire, someone you trust, who has the abilities, knowledge, money, resources, or education to help you get to the next point or the next plateau with what you're trying to do in your life. This mastermind group can consist of family, friends, former teachers, co-workers, investors that may be investing in you, or even a spouse. But the most important thing is the mastermind alliance is at least 2 or more minds working together in perfect harmony for the attainment of a common objective. That is principle number 2 of Napoleon Hill's Mastermind Principles for Personal Achievement and Success. So we've already covered 2. We'll take a quick break and return with principle number 3. Stay tuned. No, I'm going. I'm regrouping. Okay. You're tuned in to Let's Talk, all things business, speech, and motivation. I'm your host, Miss June, and today is the presentation of one of 3 presentations that will be providing you with the 17 mastermind principles of Napoleon Hill. And these mastermind principles are the things that you can do to have personal achievement and success. So we've covered principle 1, which was definiteness of purpose. Principle 2, mastermind alliance. Number 3 is applied faith. Now, with having applied faith, this is something that you already possess. It's a mental attitude, and this is where you tell yourself that you're going to clear your mind of all doubt, and you can obtain whatever you want in life. This is beginning the process of having applied faith. And there are going to be 6 notes under this principle. So there are 6 forms of riches, and those 6 forms of riches are sound health, peace of mind, doing a labor of love of your choice, freedom from fear and worry, positive attitude, and material riches of your own choice. Again, there are 6 forms of riches: sound health, peace of mind, labor of love of your choice, freedom from fear and worry, a positive attitude, and the material riches of your life. Of course, the material riches and the quantity. Now, there are 2 ways to use faith. you can reverse gears and use the negative and get what you want, or you can take possession of your mind and use it for these 6 forms of riches. So basically, if you have a negative, turn it into a positive and use your mind to help you get those 6 forms of riches. Successful people have one thing in common. They all have the ability and the capacity to believe. You want to keep your mind on what you want and definitely stay away from what you do not want. So how do we harness this expression of faith? Under this principle, principle number 3, called applied faith, there are 6 notes. The first one, when you want to harness your expression of faith, know what you want and believe you will get it. It's number 1. Number 2, give expressions of gratitude on a daily basis, even before you get it. Be thankful or grateful for that house that you want, although you do not have it. Be thankful and grateful for the completion of a college degree, although you have not registered for school yet. Be thankful and grateful for the promotion on your job, although you haven't received it. It's principle note number 2. Number 3, keep your mind open for what's called hunches from within. That's your instinct. When you're thinking about doing something and you feel it and you feel that it's right, move on it. This is harnessing your expressions of faith. Number 4, when you are overtaken by defeat, don't give up. Keep going, because see, as humans, we need to be challenged and encouraged to keep trying. Number 5, the burning desire of what it is that you want, what you're trying to achieve, or what you're trying to go after, that is the starting point of harnessing your faith. Lastly, you definitely want to be defined in what you're trying to do. I just wanted to add that in. And when you have that burning desire and you start, keep going. Don't stop. Keep acting on it. And the 6th note under this principle, this is our 3rd principle, applied faith. The 6th note is, remember, when doubt comes, do not let it in. And faith is the guidance that you're going to go to when you feel like I'm so limited, or when you limit your faith. Don't. Keep believing. Keep that faith. Keep it going. And remember, at the beginning, there was a statement that you need to write down and post it in front of you that says, let's see, here we go. Write this statement down. What the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. We'll take a quick break and we will wrap up with another principle. We will talk about the principle of going the extra mile, and you don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
I got some Oxy after I hurt my neck. First, I took them to feel better. Then, I just kept taking them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
You're inside Let's Talk, all things business, speech, and motivation. And I'm your host, Miss June. And this is a very special presentation. We are talking about the 17 Mastermind Principles by Napoleon Hill to help you have the achievement and the goals and the success of your life. Let's talk about going the extra mile. This is principle number 4. And under Principle 4, there are 15 notes. Going the extra mile is when you're rendering more service than is expected and you're doing it with a positive attitude. Now, there is a formula to going the extra mile, and that formula is quality of service plus quantity of service plus your mental attitude determines the space you occupy in your calling and your compensation from your services. And that's called QQMA. Now, if you deliberately go the extra mile, here are some notes that can tell you how you will deliberately benefit. Number one, going the extra mile, you will get the favorable attention of people who can promote you. Number two, going the extra mile is a natural law that will bring back greater compensation. Going the extra mile will make you indispensable in your profession. Going the extra mile will help you excel in your line of work. Going the extra mile will give you preference for jobs. So that's 5. Now let's go into number 6. Going the extra mile will help you benefit and show others who aren't going the extra mile. In other words, you will show them up. Also, going the extra mile will improve your personality. It'll help you develop an alert imagination, and it will inspire you to do more movement on things that are personal. And lastly, going the extra mile will help you keep your habits. It'll help you eliminate procrastination. You will also influence others to respect you, and also you'll have more integrity, and you will begin to develop more definiteness of your purpose. Now, we've gone through 13. Number 14, going the extra mile will provide your one and only excuse for promotion in your life. And also, lastly, number 15, going the extra mile will help condition your mind to keep your mastermind principles in relation with others, with everything that you're trying to do. So here's what you need to do now. In order to activate going the extra mile, 1, do something tomorrow that is not expected and you don't expect anything in return. Also, do things with a pleasant attitude. And also, going the extra mile, you want to go the extra mile and do extra things 7 days in a row, and you'll see the results. Well, this is it for this edition of Let's Talk, all things business, speech, and motivation. And up next will be the second part of Napoleon Hill's 17 Mastermind Principles and the things to do so that you can have personal achievement and success. And today we went through the first 4: definiteness of purpose, create a mastermind alliance, having applied faith, and going the extra mile. So make sure you join us next session to go through more of the principles of Napoleon Hill's Mastermind Principles to give you the life you desire. And until next time, bye now.